It's a common sight in Taiwan cities, a disabled person selling everyday merchandise on the street. According to the Labour Ministry, there are nearly 1.2 million people with disabilities in Taiwan, and only 15.7% of them are employed.
Now, some of those who can't find a job take to the streets, selling goods like tissue paper for 100 NT a pack. The high markup allows them to make a living, but it also makes them targets of public suspicion that it's all part of a scam. Tonight, we enter the challenging world of street peddlers with disabilities in our Sunday special report.
背包哦，谢谢哦。你要帮他对买哦，谢谢。这个多少钱？这100块呢，比较贵。
100 NT for a pack of tissues. It's not cheap, and it's why these peddlers have often been seen as swindlers. Or are they pawns of a scam syndicate? This 100-ping rooftop shack is partitioned into rooms no bigger than 3 ping each. Wei Bizhen of the New Wheel Foundation is in charge of keeping the place clean.
All
the bed sheets and bed covers are changed and washed by me. I help bathe the grandpas who come here to stay. And there are a few young women with epilepsy. They can't take care of themselves, so I look after them. The street vendors call her by the endearment Big Sister Xiaoru. After going through a bitter divorce, she brought her disabled son to Taiwan by way of Fuzhou, China. My son is also disabled, and so when I first came into contact with this group, I was deeply moved by these people with disabilities and their zest for life and passion for living. She saw their optimistic outlook on life, simplicity of heart, and honesty. She decided to join the New Wheel Foundation, whose members were not only the disabled, but also the homeless. The foundation provided them with shelter and a job selling goods on the street.
今天不错，卖了17包。
不过还是差一点，破个20包我就给你点赞，辛苦了。
不会不会，大家都辛苦。
吃的好吃。
The sales commission isn't as grand as some might imagine. At New Wheel, vendors get their commission on the day of the sale. At the end of a long day, this vendor named Xu Wanyi came into contact with thousands of people but sold just 17 packs for 1,700 NT in total. The foundation gave him half to take home.
那其实协会这边不只是提供房租、水电。
Actually, here in the foundation, we not only cover rent and utilities, we provide transportation and the tools they need to make a living. We cover their medical and even emergency allowances. All of this is support we provide.
Chen is New Wheel's founder and director. He created the group after a childhood shaped by his own disability, polio. He also spent time living on the streets and knows how tough it is at the bottom of society. Each day, he prepares the goods to be sold the following day. Back in the day, he supported his fledgling venture by borrowing money and visiting pawn shops. Barely 8 months in, a fire destroyed everything.
我记得当时那场大火。
After the fire, we went back to the warehouse. Everything was gone. We had nothing. We broke down and cried.
The fire took out the facility and with it his hopes and dreams. Without a warehouse, Chen turned to family and friends, but didn't get the help he'd hoped for.
当时我们街卖团体其实就是受到社会大众的很大的误解。
At the time, our street peddler organization was gravely misunderstood by the public. People thought we were disabled people backed by a crime syndicate that sent us to night markets to pull off an illegal scam. After that huge fire, we didn't have support channels. We didn't even know who to ask for help.
It was at this dark moment in his life that Wei offered her help. She returned to China to borrow money from her family and put it in a rotating savings and credit association. Bit by bit, she's been paying back the loan using profit from the foundation, but she remains in debt today.
那时候工厂烧掉到现在，我心里面最亏欠的还是小吴姐。
Since the factory burned down, I have owed my biggest debt to Big Sister Xiaoru. All my time is spent on my business partners. I have neglected her. If she'll have me, I'll hold a proper wedding this year and give her a real family.
Starting a family is Chen's dream, and that family will be big enough for all his street peddlers.
一直以来，我们从事街卖。
We've been selling things on the street, and up until now, we have been on the receiving end of help. Having formed the foundation, I can serve more people. I hope our foundation can be a window into society.
Maybe you're wondering, Taiwan legislation specifically sets a hiring quota for disabled people. Why hasn't that been enough to close the disability employment gap?
Some businesses or government agencies might feel that the job openings in their organization are not suitable for the disabled.
Government statistics dating to September 2016 show that over 1,500 companies didn't hit the hiring quota. Even in the public sector, 40 agencies fell short of the mark. These employers would rather pay a fine than to hire the disabled, and it's led to a boom in street vending. But street vending is not yet legal, and it's not yet covered by labor or health insurance programs or by the Labor Standards Act.
I think the government should take care of organizations such as New Wheel by not only legalizing the street vending trade, but giving assistance to the organization. They can also take care of issues such as work safety, as well as wages and compensation.
In recent years, calls for legalizing street peddling have amplified. Street peddlers are looking forward to the day when they can shatter the stereotypes and enjoy the fundamental rights and freedoms of work.